Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, June 16th, 2023. Today, I am going to recap the MLB games from yesterday, look ahead to tonight's and the weekend's games. Same for the WNBA. We have some soccer, NCAA baseball getting underway with the Men's College World Series. We have the U.S. Open early leaderboard, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with baseball. We'll go over the results from yesterday, and we'll look ahead to today and the rest of the weekend. So, the results. O's over the Blue Jays 4-2, Rays over the A's 4-3, Phils over the D-backs 5-4, Tigers over the Twins 8-4, Braves over the Rockies 8-3, Angels over the Rangers 5-3, Cubs over the Pirates 7-2, Nats over the Astros 4-1-10, Guardians over the Padres 8-6, and the Dodgers over the White Sox 5-4-11 on a walk-off single by Freddie Freeman. And I gotta be honest, I don't remember what I picked for best bet. That was the Mariner Marlin game, I think. I honestly don't remember. No. Oh, it was Pirates-Cubs. And then the Cubs went over by themselves. That's what it was. And it was 6.5. Yes, that was an easy best bet win. All right. We have a matinee game today. 2:20. The Cubs are hosting the Baltimore Orioles. Cole Irvin and Kyle Hendricks. I would not be shocked if the Chicago Cubs are favored in this game. And I think they probably should be. And they are. -118, the O's are even money. Over under 8, overs -120, unders -102. O's -1.5 is +162, Cubs +1.5 is -196. I'm taking the Cubs at home at -118. There's a reason they're favored. 7 o'clock, you have the Marlins at the Nats. Sandy Alcantara and Trevor Williams. Alcantara's pitching a little bit better. The Marlins are favored -164. The Nats are +138, over under 8.5, -110 each way. Marlins -1.5 is +102. Nats +1.5 is -122. All right, so for this one, I'm going to go with the Nats under 3.5 runs, -110. I think the Alcantara will continue to pitch better. Yankees, Red Sox from Fenway. Domingo Germán and Tanner Houck. The Red Sox are favored, -116. The Yanks are -102, over under 10. Overs -102, unders -120. Yankees -1.5 is +150. Red Sox +1.5 is -182. I'm going to take the Yankees straight up -102. Domingo Germán's been pitching great lately, but if he flops at Fenway, oh well. Cardinals, Mets from Citi Field. Miles Mikolas and Tyler McGill. The Cardinals are favored at -118. The Mets are even money, over under 8.5. Overs -122, unders even money. Cards -1.5 is +136. Mets +1.5 is -164. I'm taking the Cardinals straight up at -118. Mets will have a letdown after the big win over the Yankees. 7:20, the Rockies and the Braves. Dinelson Lamet and Jared Schuster. Braves -255. Rockies +210, over under 10.5, -110 each way. Rockies +1.5 is +108. Braves -1.5 is -130. Full game over. Don't feel good about it though. Jays Rangers at 8. That's a good game. Kevin Gausman and Martin Perez. Or I should say a good series. Jays -142. Rangers +120. Over under 8.5. Overs -120. Unders -102. Jays -1.5 is +112. Rangers +1.5 is -134. I'm going full game under. Angels Royals. Patrick Sandoval and Brady Singer. Angels -148, Royals +126, over under 9.5, overs -104, unders -118. Angels -1.5 is +105, Royals +1.5 is -126. Full game over, don't feel good about it. Reds Astros. Andrew Abbott and JP France. Astros -174, Reds +146, over under 8.5, overs -105, unders -115. Reds +1.5 is -140. Astros -1.5 is +116. I like the over in this game because Andrew Abbott, I know it's a little bit of an unknown, but welcome to the big leagues. You're going against the Astros. Tigers, Twins. TBD for Detroit and Joe Ryan for Minnesota. No line posted for this one. But if the total is anything less than 8.5, I'll consider, higher than 8.5, I'll consider the under. Pirates, Brewers on Apple TV Plus at 8 o'clock. Rich Hill and Julio Teheran. Brewers -122. Pirates plus 104. Over under 8.5. Overs -122. Unders even money. Pirates plus 1.5 is -196. Brewers -1.5 is plus 162. Tough one. Julio Teheran's been terrific for Milwaukee so far, so I'm going to go under 4 Pirate runs at -106. 9:30, Guardians D-backs. Tristan McKenzie against Zach Gallen. So, this is McKenzie's, third start of the year? D-backs -154. Guardians plus 130. Over under 8. Overs even money. Unders -122. Guardians plus 1.5 is -160. D-backs -1.5 is plus 132. So, this is a tough one. So, for this one, I'm going to go over 4 Diamondbacks runs -112. Only because McKenzie's still getting settled. Phillies, A's. Taijuan Walker, JP Sears. Phil's -154. A's plus 130. Over under 8.5. -110 each way. Phillies -1.5. A's plus 112. A's plus 1.5 is -134. I'm going to go with full game over. White Sox, Mariners at 10. All right, no, I skipped one. Rays, Padres. Shane McClanahan and Yu Darvish. These two teams have hooked up in trades in the past. Rays are slight favorites, -116. Padres are -102. Over under 8. Overs -102. And there's -120. Rays -1.5 is plus 146. Padres plus 1.5 is -176. For this one, I'm going to go with under 3.5 Padre runs, -110. McClanahan's been really good this year. Now 10 o'clock, Apple TV Plus, White Sox, Mariners. Both teams under 500. It's Michael Kopech and Brian Wu. Mariners -124. White Sox plus 106. Over under 7.5. Overs -114. Unders -106. White Sox plus 1.5 is -196. Mariners -1.5 is plus 162. Full game over. That is a no-brainer. And then the Giants and the Dodgers. John Brebbia and Emmett Sheehan making his debut for the Dodgers. Dodgers -142. Giants plus 120. Over under 9.5. Overs -105. Unders -115. Giants plus 1.5 is -156. Dodgers -1.5 is plus 130. I'm going to take the Giants straight up at plus 120 because of the uncertainty with Sheehan as a pitcher with the Dodgers. All right, Saturday, 2 o'clock, Tigers, Twins. Joey Wentz in TBD. O's, Cubs at 2:20. Kyle Gibson in TBD. 4 o'clock, Marlins, Nats. Braxton Garrett and Jake Irvin. Jays, Rangers. TBD, Dane Dunning. Phil's, A's. TBD and James Kaprelian. Angels, Royals, Fox Sports 1. Griffin Canning in TBD. A lot of TBDs to kick off the weekend. White Sox, Mariners, Lucas Giolito and Logan Gilbert. Reds, Astros, Hunter Green and Brandon Bielak. Rockies, Braves, Connor Siebold, Bryce Edler. Pirates, Brewers, Mitch Keller, Wade Miley. So this is all 4 o'clocks. Cards, Mets, Adam Wainwright and Cody Senga. Pirates, Brewers, if I didn't mention it, Mitch Keller and Wade Miley. 7:15 on Fox, Yankees, Red Sox. Clark Schmidt and Brian Balow. Also on Fox, Rays, Padres. So good on the Rays for getting a game on Fox. Zach Eflin and Blake Snell. The overachiever against the underachiever. 9 o'clock, Giants, Dodgers. TBD and Bobby Miller. And Fox Sports 1 at 10 o'clock, Guardians, D-backs. Shane Bieber and Tommy Henry. Sunday, 1 o'clock on Peacock, O's Cubs, Dean Kremer, Jameson Taillon, 1:30 Rockies Braves, Chase Anderson, Charlie Morton, Marlins Nats, Jesus Luzardo, Patrick Corbin, Cards Mets, Matthew Liberatore, Carlos Carrasco, 2 o'clock Angels Royals, Tyler Anderson, Zach Greinke, Reds Astros, Luke Weaver and Ronel Blanco, Tigers Twins, TBD Louis Varland, Pirates and the Brewers, Luis Ortiz, Freddie Peralta, 2:30 Jays Rangers, Chris Bassett, John Gray, 4 o'clock Phil's A's, Zach Wheeler, Hogan Harris, White Sox Mariners, Lance Lynn, Bryce Miller, Guardians D-backs, Tanner Bibbe and Zach Davies, Giants Dodgers, Logan Webb and Tony Gonsolin, Rays Padres, TBD and Joe Musgrove, and Sunday Night Baseball for the second consecutive week, this time at Fenway, Yankees Red Sox, Luis Severino and James Paxton. So, Yankees on Sunday Night Baseball for the third consecutive week, and the Red Sox on for the second consecutive week. So, that's that. We'll move on to the WNBA now. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to the weekend coming up. Commissioner's Cup game, Dream over the Sun, 92-88 in overtime. Fever over the Sky, 92-90. Commissioner's Cup game, Aces over the Storm, 96-63. I was way off on that one. All right, 2 games tonight. 8 o'clock on Ion, you have the Mercury and the Mystics. The Mystics are favored by 11.5, totals 157.5. That's a high line. I think the Mercury cover in that game. And 10 o'clock on Ion, you have Commissioner's Cup game between the Lynx and the Sparks. The Sparks are favored by 5.5, totals 162.5. I'm going to go with the over in that game. Saturday, 2 o'clock on CBS, Commissioner's Cup game between the Storm and the Wings. And then a lot of games on Sunday. 12 o'clock on CBS, you have the Mercury at the Liberty. 3 o'clock on Twitter, Commissioner's Cup game between the Sky and the Mystics. 4 o'clock CBS Sports Network, you have the Dream and the Fever. Commissioner's Cup game, and then 7:30 of the Sun, the Sparks, and at 9 o'clock at NBA TV, you have the Lynx and the Vegas Aces. All right, now we'll move on to soccer. We have some results to go over, and we have a weekend to look ahead to. There's a lot of international stuff going on. We'll start with the friendlies. Japan over El Salvador 6-0. Philippines over Nepal 1-0. Argentina over Australia 2-0. Bangladesh over Cambodia 1-0. Vietnam over Hong Kong 1-0. Qatar over Jamaica 2-1, Venezuela over Honduras 1-0, and Guatemala over Costa Rica 1-0. Final so far today, China over Myanmar 4-0, Taipei and Thailand 2-2 draw, Peru over South Korea 1-0, and Singapore and Papua New Guinea 2-2 draw. All right, 1 o'clock today of Sweden and New Zealand. Sweden's minus 350. New Zealand is plus 950. The draw's plus 350. Sweden's been on fire. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals at minus 112, though, because I think they win 2-0. Or 1-0. 2:30 of Serbia and Jordan. Serbia's minus 350. Jordan is plus 750. The draw is 4-1. Jordan's actually playing good soccer, but Serbia is just better. I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals again at plus 108. 2:45, Poland, Germany. Germany's minus 165. Poland is plus 380. The draw is plus 290. Under 2.5 goals, plus 106. 3 o'clock, you have Colombia and Iraq. Colombia is minus 420. Iraq's plus 950. The draw's plus 230. For this one, I'm going to do under 2.5 goals at minus 108. And then Chile and Dominican Republic tonight at 8:30. Chile is minus 3,500. The DR is 55-1. The draw is 14-1. I'm going to go under 3.5 goals at plus 126. All right, Saturday, 10 a.m. you have Djibouti and Pakistan at 10, at 3:30 at Brazil and Guinea, and 7 o'clock Ecuador and Bolivia. Sunday, 7:30 a.m. Mauritius and Kenya, Singapore and Solomon Islands, 10:30 Paraguay and Nicaragua, 1 o'clock Egypt, South Sudan, 4:30 Venezuela, Guatemala, and 8 o'clock you have Honduras and Barbados. And then Monday morning, we have a couple, 7 a.m. Philippines and Taipei at 7, and 8 Hong Kong, Thailand, Jamaica, Jordan, 8:30 Indonesia and Argentina. Alrighty, the European Championship qualifying. We have a lot of qualifying games today. We don't have time to give out picks, but I'll just go over them. 12 o'clock, you have Finland and Slovenia, 2:45, San Marino and Kazakhstan, Latvia, Turkey, Greece, Republic and Ireland, Gibraltar against, it just froze on me, I'm sorry, against France, Wales and Armenia, Andorra, Switzerland, Belarus, Israel, Denmark, North Ireland, Kosovo and Romania, Malta and England, and North Macedonia and Ukraine. Saturday, the 17th of June, which is tomorrow, 9 o'clock, you have Lithuania and Bulgaria, Luxembourg, and Liechtenstein. 12, you have Azerbaijan and Estonia, Montenegro and Hungary, Norway, Scotland, 2:45 Faroe Islands and Czech Republic, Iceland, Slovakia, Portugal, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Albania and Moldova, Belgium, Austria, and Cyprus, Georgia. And you have more games on Monday, which we'll discuss on the Monday podcast. The CONCACAF Gold qualifying, we have games today. 4:30, we have Antigua, Barbuda, and Guadalupe. 7 o'clock, you have Martinique and St. Lucia. And 9 o'clock, you have Curacao and St. Kitts and Nevis. Tomorrow, 4:30, you have French Guiana and St. Martin. 7, Suriname and Puerto Rico. And 9, you have Guyana and Grenada. And then second round will start on Sunday. And UEFA Under 21. Today we have group stage, 11 a.m. of Lithuania and Denmark, Under 21. And at 1 o'clock, Under 21, we have Faroe Island and Andorra. And we also have results to go over from yesterday, as USA defeats Mexico by a score of 3-0 in the Nations League for CONCACAF. And then Canada beat Panama 2-0. And in the Nations League yesterday, Spain beat Italy 2-1. So we have MLS to talk about for the weekend. So only a handful of games on Saturday. 3:30 of NYCFC hosting Columbus. I want to say that's at Yankee Stadium, and it is. 7:30 DC United Salt Lake, New England, Orlando. 8:30 Nashville, St. Louis, KCLAFC, and 10:30 of San Jose against Portland. And then women's Saturday, you have 4 o'clock San Diego, Angel City, North Carolina, Orlando at 7, and 8:30 Houston against Seattle. And then Sunday, 4 o'clock Louisville, Gotham, 6 o'clock Chicago, Portland, and 7 o'clock you have Kansas City against Washington. USL, the weekend, 7 o'clock Hartford, Charleston, Miami FC, Loudoun, 7:30 Birmingham, Indy, XI, 8:30 Memphis, Detroit, Colorado, Vegas at 9, Tulsa, Orange County, New Mexico, Rio Grande, 9:30 El Paso, Tampa Bay, 10 o'clock Oakland, Pittsburgh, 10:30 Phoenix, Louisville, and 11 o'clock you have Sacramento and Monterey Bay. And then that's really it for soccer. Like, all the new leagues, or all the regular leagues are, like, on a pause right now. Like Serie A and, like, all, like, those leagues, Premier League, UEFA Champions League. So, there you have it for soccer for today. Now move on to the NCAA baseball. We will go over the games for today and the weekend in the Men's College World Series. So today, 2 o'clock on ESPN, you have Oral Roberts and TCU. This is a double elimination round. I'll give out picks for today's College World Series games. So TCU's favored -184. Oral Roberts is +142. Over under 11.5. Overs -128. Unders -104. Oral Roberts +1.5 is -135. TCU -1.5 is +104. I'm going to go with the full game under. And at 7 o'clock on ESPN, you have Virginia, Florida. Florida's -138. Virginia's +108. Over under 10.5. Overs even money. Unders -122. Virginia +1.5 is -188. Florida -1.5 is +142. I'm going to go with the full game over. Don't feel good about it, though. Saturday, 2 o'clock, you have Stanford, Wake, and at 7 o'clock, Tennessee, LSU. And then Sunday, we have an elimination game at 2 and a double elimination game on ESPN2. So my guesses would be Oral Roberts, Virginia would be playing for elimination. I would say Virginia wins that. And then the double elimination game would be Florida against TCU. And in that one, I would like the Gators. All right, now move on to golf. We will go over the current leaderboard for the U.S. Open. Your leaders right now with the score of 8 under. Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele tied for third with 6 under. Dustin Johnson and Wyndham Clark tied for 5th with 5 under. Brian Harman, Rory McIlroy tied for 7th with 3 under. Bryson DeChambeau, Scotty Scheffler, Siwoo Kim, Paul Barjan, Harry English, Sam Bennett, Mackenzie Hughes tied for 14th with 2 under. Max Homa, Ryan Fox, Dylan Wu, Jacob Solomon, Adam Putnam, Joaquin Neiman, Alex Loren, Alejandro Del Rey, Keith Mitchell, Tony Finau, Sebastian Munoz. Tied for 25th with 1 under. John Rahm, Yuto Kastergawa, Ryan Gerard, Gordon Sargent, Victor Hovland, Eric Cole, Phil Mickelson, Sam Burns, Minwoo Lee, Justin Sue, Cam Smith, and David Puig. Tied for 38th at even. Lucas Herbert, Seth Straka, Sergio Garcia, Corey Connors, Jordan Smith, Gary Woodland, Adam Hadwin-Swirsing, Victor Norman, Mark Meisner, Charlie Hoffman, Andrew Svoboda, Nate Hardy, Charlie Hoffman, Thurston Lawrence, Abe Answer, Aldrich Portager, Adrian Murdoch, Ben Carr, and Patrick Cover. Tied for 57th with 1 over. We have a lot, but we're just going to do notables now. Scott Stallings, Patrick Rogers, Sanjay M. Colin Morikawa, Dylan McCarthy, Mito Pereira, Austin Eckert, Ryan Henley, Matt Fitzpatrick, Chris Kirkpatrick, Cantlay, Brooks Koepka, Taylor Montgomery, Taylor Moore. Tied for 83rd with 2 over. Roger Sloan, Shane Lowry, Francesco Molinari, Taylor Hogue, Matt Kuchar, Patrick Reed, Seamus Power, Brent Grant, Keegan Bradley, Cam Davis, Jordan Spieth, Cam Young, Davis Thompson, Hideki Matsuyama, Nate Taylor. Tied for 106 with 3 over. Justin Thomas, Tommy Fleetwood, Kyung-Gu Lee, Adam Scott, Jason Day, Paul Haley, Brett Horschel. Tied for 122nd with 4 over. Carson Young, Reiner Moore, Michael Kim, Tyrell Hatton, JT Potson, Joel Dahman, Nicholas Echeverria, Emiliano Grillo, Sahith Thiglia. Tied for 147th with 5 over. Kurt Katayama, Luke Bliss. Tied for 143rd with 6 over. Victor Perez, Justin Rose. And that's really it for notables in the U.S. Open. All right, now I'm going to move on to the news and notes for today. Big news in the NBA. Michael Jordan is selling the Charlotte Hornets as he's finalizing the sale to a group led by Charlotte's minority owner and former Hawks minority owner. So that is a big deal. So Michael Jordan's selling the team. And so Gabe Plotkin and Rick Schnall. So 13 years as the owner, and he said, hey, just not for me. They really haven't had success under Jordan's watch. But now the shine is going to be off of them a little bit. And we all know new owner syndrome in the NBA. You like to come in and make a splash. But now is the question, like, will they keep the pick and trade the pick instead of LaMelo Ball? Will they entertain with the Pelicans for Scoot? This is going to be interesting. This is interesting timing, considering the draft is right here, and the Charlotte Hornets have an opportunity to pick a difference maker player, whether that's Brandon Miller or the guy I would go with in Scoot Henderson. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Charlotte. So that is a big deal. And the other big news this morning is that Mike Dunleavy Jr. promoted to replace Bob Myers as the Warriors GM. This was rumored to happen. It was either going to be Joe Lacob's son or Dunleavy. And I think they did the right thing with Dunleavy rather than Joe Lacob's son, because we know how that works when their kids are running the team. We see that with the Yankees and the Cowboys, and where they've gone, really nowhere but playoff failures. But so good on the Warriors for not promoting Joe Lacob's son. And not in the Yankees case, but I'm just saying in general, more like the Cowboys, because Jerry and Stephen Jones are running the team in that regard, like how the Warriors were talking about promoting Joe Lacob's son to the GM position. But I threw the Yankees in there because, like, Hal is still, like, helping with Cashman and whatnot, and, like, that's why I threw them in there, because how involved Hal Steinbrenner is. But it's more of a Cowboys issue than a Yankees issue when the family kind of is involved too much. But yeah, I think Dunleavy will do a nice job, and the pressure's on. The pressure is on to remake this team, and I'm interested to see how he does this. Chris Paul says he wants to stay with the Suns. He says he absolutely wants to remain in Phoenix. This is why I'm there. Beal would accept a trade to the Miami Heat, as the Heat are one of the teams Beal would waive his no-trade clause to. But the Sixers and the Celtics are not pursuing Bradley Beal, as that's interesting. If I was those teams, I would. Which is weird. I'm surprised that they're not. But you never know. There's teams that they say that they're not interested, but they end up doing it anyway. Zion Williamson will not be traded, as the Pelicans won't deal Zion. Had been linked to the Blazers and the Hornets for trying to trade up for Scoot. Then that was in spite of yesterday, it was reported that they're willing to trade Zion. The Bulls have been quietly shopping Zach LaVine, as they've been quietly gauging interest. I would not deal for Zach LaVine. He's always injured. He's not a star. He's like a Julius Randle type of player rather than a Bradley Beal guy that would help a team more. To me, like I said, LaVine's an all-star player, but not like a super all-star player. And I think Bradley Beal is better than Zach LaVine. I think Karl Towns is better than Zach LaVine. I think Trae Young's better than Zach LaVine. I just don't think Zach LaVine is that good of a basketball player. He's more like Julius Randle. He's like the guard Julius Randle. Him and his teammate, DeMar DeRozan, ironically enough, from the Bulls. So, it's going to be interesting. Kyle Kuzma a lock for free agency, as he is widely expected to decline the $13 million player option, become a free agent. I predicted him to land in San Antonio with the Spurs of Victor Wembanyama, Chris Paul as another acquisition, and then Austin Reeves, and that would be like a nice foundation with Wemby, with Popovich, the coach. That's my ideal fit for Kuzma going to San Antonio, but you never know. 3 teams want earlier picks. The Cavaliers, the Suns, and the Bucks have explored potential opportunities to move up into the late 20s and 30s. So we'll see. And the Cavs don't even have a first rounder. Neither do the Suns. And neither do the Bucks. So we'll see if anybody does it. The Raptors and the Wizards are eyeing top 3 picks. They're obviously eyeing Portland's spot because there's talks that they're going to potentially keep Dame. So let's see if any of those teams go for it there a little bit. Some interesting soccer news is that Greg Berhalter is back as he returns to the position after managing the team from 2018 to 2022. So much for a manager search for the U.S. men's national team. So Greg is back. So they're pretty much saying, we shouldn't have gotten rid of him anyway. Oakland's office refutes Manfred as They said that Manfred's totally false claim. There was no offer from the city for a new stadium. And then Manfred said the A's fans got almost an average crowd during Tuesday's game. And then Nevada's governor signs the A's bill as the league will make a final decision on team's relocation to Vegas following approval from Joe Lombardo. The league won't use ABS in 2024 as Rob Manfred says that the robotic umpire automatic ball strike system has too many problems for the big leagues. So Peter Fairbanks back to the injured list with a black guy from dunking on a 3-year-old son in a pool. Yikes. That's not great. Bryce Harper is not going to the A's as he has no plans of leaving Philly for his hometown of Vegas. I hope I die in a Phillies uniform, says Bryce Harper. So the Nuggets parade had an amazing turnout, which was great. And then Jokic was really fired up. Michael Malone took a jab at the Lakers. And it was really, really funny, that parade. And then Jokic found his MVP trophy, which is really good. KCP was chucking a beer. Karl Anthony Towns, though, made what I thought was the dumbest comment I've heard in the last couple of years. He says that the Timberwolves making the 2022 playoffs was more special than the Nuggets championship run. And that's courtesy of the Pat Bev podcast. Like, is he out of his freaking mind? He is out of his mind. Like, the championship is always more special than just a small little playoff run where you lose in round one. Like, come on. The DOJ to review the PGA Live merger, as Justice Department called the antitrust concerns to the PGA Tour, so we'll see about that. Conor McGregor accused of rape, as a woman says that McGregor raped her at Game 4 of the NBA Finals, and he has denied the allegations. That's according to TMZ. There's going to be more to this. That is, feels very sketchy to me. The Chiefs unveiled their Super Bowl rings, as Mahomes says that this ring looks better than the first. And then Mahomes has a picture with the 2 rings, which is cool. DeAndre Hopkins posts pictures of Matt Judon during the Pats visit, so that's pretty interesting. Quentin Johnson, the Chargers wide receiver, retires his mom as he fulfills draft night promise to his mom, Sherry, who had her final day of work on Thursday. That's sweet. There was a wild college football schedule picture. Mississippi State used Al to reveal its SEC schedule, and it was very interesting. Sad news, Ray Lewis, his oldest son, passes away. Ray Lewis III passes away at the age of 28 years old. That's very sad. Thoughts and prayers to the Lewis family. Some hockey news. The Devils and Timo Meier will go to arbitration as they'll try to negotiate a long-term deal with him. But the good news for New Jersey is that they extend Jesper Bratt, 8 years, $63 million. That's a really big extension for Jesper Bratt. Almost $8 million a year, and he was great for New Jersey this past season. The Tampa Bay Lightning have a $1.4 billion valuation as they will sell a minority stake at an NHL record value. We talked about the Panthers being injured or littered with injuries during their Stanley Cup final run. We talked about Aaron Ekblad. We talked about Matt Tkachuk. And there is a laundry list of injuries for the Florida Panthers. And it wasn't just those two. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. There was one that jumped out at me. It was a low total. It was in Major League Baseball, trying to go for 5-0 on the week for the first time in a long time for best bet. I'm going to lay the half unit on it. And I'm going to go with over 7.5 runs between the White Sox and the Mariners. That is way too low. Woo's an unknown. Kopech has been up and down. The White Sox bullpen stinks. The Mariner bullpen's good, but you never know. White Sox could... What if Luis Robert randomly hits a 3-run home run on a hanging pitch by a Mariner reliever? You never know. And I think that is very, 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 very low. And I think this is the third time I've gone with an over in a Mariner game for best bet. And the first 2 times paid off. Once it was against the Yankees, and then the other time it was against the Marlins. And now I believe this one is an almost certainty to hit too, as I'll go 5-0 for best bet. It's on the week. All right, so there you have it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Monday, recapping everything from the weekend, U.S. Open. We have all the sports going on. I'll do an NHL mock draft on Monday. I was going to do one today, but didn't have time, so I'm sorry about that. So I hope you guys have a good weekend, everyone.